leaving yesterday's game, really, with an infection and illness, but we didn't have any details. Usually something mild, upper respiratory, not a big deal. But come to find out, he actually had to go to the hospital for a pneumonia, an infection in the lungs. Now, this is not common in a high-level athlete like this. It can happen, obviously, but rarely do we see someone playing day-to-day and then all of a sudden have his immune system go so low to the point where an infection, usually bacterial, comes and rides and ends up getting him to the point where he actually has to be hospitalized in order to neutralize it. Now, he's likely on IV antibiotics inside of a hospital setting, reportedly, which tells you it's not just a mild walking pneumonia to the point where he actually had to be admitted. So that tells you his a little bit more severity. Maybe his O2 sats, his pulmonary function, was decreased to the point where it wasn't safe for him to be at home and he maybe needed even oxygen. So there's a possibility this could keep him out anywhere from 1 week to 3 weeks, just depending on how long it takes to clear this infection, how he's feeling, and when he can start to ramp up. He can't just turn on the switch and say, okay, go time, going from being bedbound and being severely dehydrated and dealing with an infection and all the ramifications of that to automatically getting on the field and running routes and cutting on a dime and all that type of stuff. So this is going to take a little bit of time. To add insult to injury, they lost Brandon Ayuk today to a torn right ACL. George Kittle is banged up with a midfoot sprain. Juwan Jennings is also banged up with a hip injury, so this is not an injury they can afford right now, but they don't have much of a choice, and we're going to see, Pearsall, we're going to see Cowing, we're going to probably see Jennings in Week 8. I do not think Deebo Samuel plays in Week 8. I just don't think it's realistic if they do indeed say, yes, he's in the hospital with pneumonia. It's rare to see someone on Monday and come back and play on Sunday. Like, that's just pretty crazy. Possible, but unlikely. So, we'll have to see maybe Week 9, or I think they have a bye in Week 9, so that would mean Week 10. So that would be, in my opinion, in his best interest to miss Week 8, take the bye for Week 9, rest up, heal up, get ramped up, be 100%, and then they get both Christian McCaffrey as well as Deebo Samuel back in Week 10. I'll give you more information when we hear more. I am Dr. Jesse Morse, a double board certified family and sports medicine physician.